Hello, welcome to Experimental Psychology. This is a bonus lesson how to create a module. Okay, so still your lecturer, Angelo M. Monteverde. This will be session number 7. Okay, overview, writing a proper module following different techniques. Steps in writing module for intervention. Okay, so learning objective, we need to identify the cognitive, affective, and psychomotor. Paano natin ma-identify yon? Apply the objectives rather, in writing an intervention. What are the parts of module? And learn to administer the module to participants. All right. So for that, malalaman natin mamaya. And that is also the session outline. All right. Topic 1, we need to identify what is cognitive, affective, and psychomotor. So, paano ba natin ma-identify kung ang objective na ginagamit natin ay cognitive, affective, and psychomotor? By you, objective. A learning objective states that a student will learn by the end of a lesson or module. It should include a measurable verb from designated domain. Okay, by using the verbs na gagamitin natin. Okay? What are the verbs? Later, di-discuss natin. What should I keep in mind when writing a learning objective? We need to follow the SMART. Okay? S for specific, M for measurable, um, A for attainment, R for relevance, and T for the time frame. Lagi natin tatandaan yung word na SMART. Okay, sa paggawa ng objective. Also, a learning objective is not a list of what will be covered during a lesson. If the lesson is 1 to 2 hours, you will want to write at least 3 learning objectives. 3 or more hours should have at least 3 to 5 objectives. Okay? So, usually, ang ginagamit natin sa paggawa ng isang objective ng module for intervention ay tatlo lang. Okay? The affective, psychomotor, and cognitive. Okay? So, paano natin ma-identify? Ano yung domain na yon? Cognitive, this is the most commonly used domain. It deals with the intellectual side of learning. Okay, so kailangan meron kang pa yung verb na gagamitin mo or sa paggawa ng isang objective module ay dapat ay sakto dito sa cognitive. Dapat meron din itong affective. This domain includes objectives relating to interest, attitude, and values relating to learning the information. And psychomotor is how they will apply this kind of intervention or the module na ipinapasok natin. So, dapat may cognitive, okay, may affective, and psychomotor. Okay, psychomotor focuses on motor skills and actions or kung yung mai-apply nila, may application. So, how do we identify? Using by this verb. Cognitive, define, duplicate. Okay? This came from Google. Para magkaroon tayo ng words to create kung para saan nga ba talaga para ma-identify natin kung saan si cognitive, si affective, at saka si psychomotor. Usually, these are the words. Duplicate, ask, align, balance, psychomotor, follow, grasp, hold, repeat, rest, step. Okay, sa affective naman, listening and being attentive. Okay, yun yung gusto natin makuha. Pwede ka magsimula sa to ask the student regarding on their behavior, something like that. To let the student choose or to let the student describe. Okay, doon natin siya. Kukuha. To apply the balance or to have balance. Okay? To cognitive, to list down learning objective. At the end of the session, the student will be able to list Okay? Kung list ba, memorize, name, recall, recite, repeat, reproduce, state. Okay? So, dapat yung mga objective natin ay pasok dito sa verb na gagamitin natin para hindi tayo mahihirapan kung yung sa mga domain na gagamitin natin. Okay? If you still have question, may ask me during synchronous. Alright. So, these are the other list. Dito ay for remembering. Dito naman is for understanding. Dito is for responding. These are the verb that you can use. Okay? This is for manipulation, which is also for psychomotor. This is for precision, accurately, erroneously, independently. These are the sample. Okay, kumuha ako ng sample from internet. It's for you to be able to come up with the correct one. Okay, it's for you not to have some confusion. What objective should I use in creating a module? All right, and these are the verbs that you can use for analyzing. Okay, for naturalization, high level proficiency, you may use this one to create the objectives of the module. Evaluating, we have appraise, argue, decide, critique, criticize, defend, judge, prioritize, rate, rank, okay, and so on. All right. For creating, we have assemble, construct, create, compose. This is for cognitive and affective. Okay, cognitive and affective, this one as well. So, topic 2. We already identified what are the objectives. What are the core domains that you can use to construct an objective. Okay? Yun na yung sample kanina sa previous slide. Ngayon, ang kailangan nating identify is to applying objectives in writing module. Paano ba? That is for topic 2. Part 1, it must have objectives. Topic 2, inclusion with the part 1 is the materials that will be used. Kapag tayo mag-a-apply ng isang intervention, ano-ano yung mga materials natin na kailangan gamitin at i-prepare. References, ibig sabihin saan natin nakuha? Yung mga inilagay natin doon. That's why, hindi tayo pwedeng mag-conduct ng isang module na wala tayong RL, references. Bakit? Because we need to prove the fact, the specific fact, or the existing fact. Okay? This module is only designed for experimental module. Procedure, paano gawin yon? Topic 2, analysis. Inclusion ng isang module, after we identify the part 1, we need to identify now the part 2. Each after the intervention or the module, we must have an analysis na papasagutan sa student or sa participants. List down all the processing questions that you would like to identify after the activity. Para makita natin if meron ba na what is the reflection, okay, of this activity na ikinonduct natin sa student. So, hindi natin pwedeng paghiwalayin ang isang activity doon sa tapos, kunyari, third day mo is active, may intervention ka kinonduct. Tapos, yung fourth day mo, doon ka pala ang intervention mo is to have reflection. What do we mean by that? Kailangan, hindi pwede yung ganun. Kasi, bakit hindi pwede yung ganun? Kasi, ang part ng paggawa ng module, dapat meron doong every after intervention, meron kang analysis para for you to identify kung may natutunan ba yung participants mo or ano yung reflection nila regarding on the intervention that you conducted. Okay? Topic 3, abstraction. Okay? Write down the expected outcome of the activity. Okay? So, mamaya, may explain din natin kung paano gumawa sample ng module. Part 4, application. This is an example. The participant should be asked how they will apply the activity in the most possible way. Halimbawa, sources of stress. Okay, you identify that one. meaning academics. Okay, specific stress, um, beating the deadline of project. Tapos, reaction. Ano ba yung usual reaction na nararamdaman ng taong may stress? Okay, panic, palpitation, at kung ano pa. Possible ways to manage it. Ito yung intervention ilalagay mo. Okay? Example would be breathing exercise or a meditation. Okay? Or a seminar. Okay? So, take note that in conducting an intervention, it must have at least 8 modules, tulad yung sinasabi natin, and has an interval in less than the confounding variables. Meaning to say, para masabi mo na effective ang isang intervention or in some program, dapat interval siya. Hindi mo pwedeng pagsunod-sunurin. Okay? So, bakit 8? Because it's true experimental. Okay? So, that is the end of this one, but I'll show you in a bit kung what is the example of module. Okay, so what I'm saying earlier, this is the example of module. So, paggawa ng module, example would be the module 1. Okay, so this module is, kung mapapansin wala dito yung references. Kasi binibigay natin yung references na yon once we validating yung module sa isang validator. So, this module is validated by a psychology, psychnet, registered guidance counselor, and isang psychologist. Okay, so, ang topic dito is to lessen the stress, or that is the dependent variable, the stress. Ang independent variable is nagpasok ako ng stress management program. Okay, so ganito siya. So, identify, understand, and to apply. This is the psychomotor. Okay? This is a cognitive and affective. ABC. Okay? Ito yung sinasabi natin kanina na kailangan ang isang module, meron tayong 3 domain. And dapat, yapasukan natin ito ng SMART. Specific, dapat, measurable, attainable, relevant, and yung time frame natin doon, or the duration. Okay? So, ganito ang sample ng isang module. Alright. So, for this, meron tayong, ang activity neto is short lecture on stress. So, identify natin, halimbawa sa day 1, this is for module 1, day 1. By the way, itong module na to is for the students, or ito na mismo yung ibibigay na module sa batang papasagutan. Okay, so hindi ito ang module na meaningan pa ng reference kasi it's separate one na din. Okay, so hiwalay ang reference for ang module for validators. Doon nakalagay ang mga references na pinagkuhanan mo, and also this module, whole module, titingnan nila yan. Titingnan nila yung face validity, yung criteria kung paano ito ginawa by using the references. Kaya kailangan ng mga RL kung saan nyo pinagugutan yung etong module na to. Okay, so ulitin ko, this is only na sa student na i-apply or ready to administer na. Okay, so the topic is for activity. Magbibigay ka ng short lesson on stress. What is stress? Paano nakakatulong ang stress? Kasi we know in psych that we have use stress. I-explain niya dito yung flight or fight response. Okay, so kung mapapansin, ang following is SMART ay specific kung ano yung gusto niyang ma-explain or mabigay na seminar doon sa pag-conduct niya ng experiment. Pagbigay niya ng isang program. Okay, so sa din natin kanina, dapat may materials used kung ano yung mga gagamitin. Okay? And nakalagay din dito, kahit na ibibigay mo to sa bata, ay yung brief kung saan mo kinuha na RL ang isang module. compare dun sa ipapabalidate mo, kasi pag nagpa-validate ka, dapat nakalagay dun yung specific thought kung saan mo kinuha yon, yung mga specific words kung saan mo kinuha yung module na yon. Okay? But here, for references na for the specific module na ibibigay mo, ay kukuha ka lang doon kung saan mo siya nakuha. But you do not need to elaborate pa kung ano yung mga bagay or words or phrases na pinagkuhanan. That's why, para makapag-come up ka ng gantong module. Okay? So, letter C, we have A, B, C, D for that one, identify mo yung procedure na step-by-step procedure. Number one, the facilitator will conduct a brief lecture on stress and its effect to our body. And what is that kind of stress? Okay, ano yun? Dapat limit lang din kung ano yung topic na ibibigay mo sa student. Like dito, isasabi na about sa flight or fight response. Okay? Tapos, participant will then be allowed to write the sources of stress in their individual lives. Okay? And the facilitator will help them process the realities in their life and how can they cope effectively. So, for the day one, pwede ka mag-come up or maglagay ng mga specific na ipapagawa mo doon sa procedure. Kung mapapansin, nagbigay ka ng lecture. Pangalawa, sa unang araw, nagbigay ka din ng pina-identify mo sa participants kung ano yung sources of stress and the procedure, the facilitator will help them process the realities in their life and how they can cope effectively. Okay? And then, after ng each module, magpapasok ka ng analysis. For you to identify kung itong module ba to ay ano yung effect na nakakuha sila ng information regarding on what is stress. So, meron ka ngayong processing question. Okay? After the activity, were you able to understand the sources of stress in your life? Okay? In your own experience, were you able to control this stress? Okay? How will you keep yourself focused on the reduction of stress in your life? And how do you think the coping skills presented to you will be will be of help in the future in managing stress? Okay? Then we have abstraction. After the participants share their experiences in their lives, the facilitator should guide them in realizing that stress can be managed and there are techniques that can effectively help them. Okay? Application. The students will be asked to write on a sheet of paper the sources of stress and possible ways to help them manage it. So, meaning to say, after mo mag-conduct ng isang intervention or ng isang module, kung makikita, lahat ng nakalagay from numerical number 1 to 4 ay in line doon sa objective na ginawa mo. Okay? So, ito yung example natin kanina. Sources of stress, academic, specific stress, kung ano yung stress na nag-aano sa student, nagbibigay, beating the deadline of project, reaction nila, panic, palpitation, possible ways to manage it, pwedeng magbigay ka ng sabihin mo na, you know what, pwede tayong gumawa ng breathing exercise para dyan. Okay? Kung most of the student is, ang nakikita mo dun sa sagot nila dun sa module sa day 1 ay breathing exercise. Ay about doon sa paano sila nagko-cope up doon. So, this is the sample. Pero gagawa ka ng another table na kung saan pwede nilang sagutan din. Okay, for application. Okay, this is, pwede mong ilagay ito na as a guide for them para meron kang sample kung ano yung mga specific stress na naranasan nila. Then, sa baba, pwede ka din maglagay ng another table kung saan doon naman sila sasagot. At kung mapapansin, aligned ito dito sa mga processing question na nilagay mo. Okay? So, number 2 module, deep breathing exercise. This is, breathing exercise is different from deep breathing exercise. So, start ka ulit sa affective, cognitive rather, affective, and psychomotor with that, with these 3 objectives ng core domains mo. Then, for this one sample naman, ay magagawa ka ng, dahil nga ang title mo, or deep breathing exercise, or the belly breathing, ay magagawa ka ng kung ano yung mga materials na kailangan mo. For this one, wala tayong materials. So, nalagay mo no materials needed. References mo kung saan ka nagawa or ano yung pinagkuhanan mo, ilalagay mo din. Step-by-step procedure. Okay, so kung mapapansin dito sa paggawa ng deep breathing exercise ay naka-identify kung ano yung mga step-by-step procedure na kailangan nila. Stand up straight, okay, arms, hands, and so on and so forth. Kung paano siya gawin. And then, extension, practice several times with the class until they achieve the comfortable competence with deep breathing. So, lahat to ay nakalagay dapat dun sa module na ipapasagutan mo dun sa student. Okay. After ng deep breathing exercise, ano yung application nila? Sample, day 1, deep breathing exercise. Pinagawa mo yung araw na yun. Sabi mo sa student, nag-assignment ka na, because this module, pwede nilang itong iuwi. Okay, pwede mo sabihin na, kung may mga take-home exercises, halimbawa, nagpakanda ka ng isang intervention, pwede mo sabihin na, you can try this. Sa susunod na balik namin is, gusto namin ay tinatry mo kung ano yung natutunan mo ngayong araw na to, ha? Dahil sa marunong ka na mag-breathing exercise, ang gagawin mo, pag uwi mo, every time you stress, dahil sa pwedeng 1 week or 2 weeks ka bumalik, kailangan namin ng reflection mula sa'yo kung paano mo na i-apply at ano yung naramdaman mo tung kinakandak mo ito. Okay, so i-guide mo si students or si participants ng ganun. So si participants naman, ang gagawin niya ay isusulat niya, pwedeng day 1 to day 8, depende kung ilang beses mo siya pinagawa or depende sa'yo kung gaano kadaming araw yung ilalagay mo dito. Okay? So, ikaw naman, as nagbibigay ka ng intervention or ng program, i-assist mo din kung at the end of that exercise, babasahin mo yung module nila kung makatulong ba yung deep breathing exercise na yon, ano ba yung nangyari, then i-correlate mo ngayon yun doon sa instrumentation na papasagutan mo or sa research instrumentation na papasagutan mo, end of intervention, i-correlate mo ngayon or makapaggawa ka ng descriptive analysis na depending on their answer. Okay? Baka kaya siguro na mas tumaas ang stress kasi ito yung naramdaman nila, pwede mong sabihin as descriptive analysis na yung student na yun ay nakapag-come up ng hindi pala effective yung deep breathing exercise mo para sa kanya. So, kaya pala, walang nagbago doon sa post-test mo ng stress. Pag nagkandakan or pag ipinasok mo yung post-testing ng instrumentation after ng 8 module na ito. Okay? So, magagamit natin itong si module para makapag-support tayo ng descriptive explanation doon kung bakit naging ganun ang action or naging ganun ang kinalabasan ng data natin. Kasi meron tayong day 1, day 2, day 8, or kung depende sa researcher kung gaano kadami ang ipapagawa niya na araw according sa RL. Okay? Next, we have example, doodle making. Halimbawa, sabi ng RL, para ma-release mo ang tension of stress, kailangan gumagawa ka ng something like doodle making. Okay? Same process din dito na pinagawa mo. sa Module 1 and Module 2. Okay? So, ilalagay mo lahat, what are the materials needed, references, kung saan mo nakuha yung technique na yon, kung saan mo nakuha yung specific information na yon. Okay? Procedure. Also, tulad nga sabi natin, itong module na to is the actual module na ipapasagutan mo sa student. Another module na kung saan ipapa-validate mo sa validators ay iba din. Kasi doon nakalagay yung specific quotes, specific phrases na pinagkuhanan mo. Okay? And also, this one din. So, dalawang module ang gagawin. Isa kay validator at saka isa kapag na-validate na siya at sabi na mga validators okay for intervention to, eto na ngayon yung gagawin mo. Okay? So, this is the summarization ng whole module that you submitted from the validators. Okay? And same din ng pinagawa mo. Application. The participant will use these steps to lessen the stress in more comfortable. Okay? So, dito, may papasagutan ka na processing question ulit. Sa end ng module, maglalagay sila dito ng, or sa baba ng, neto kailangan masagutan mo to. Number 1, ano ang naramdaman mo? Okay, pwedeng nasa researcher or nasa experimenter kung mismong araw ba nila papasagutan yung processing question or iuuwi nila yung kailangan mo na na-practice muna nila ang kung deep breathing exercises ba yun or meditation, ma-practice muna nila sa bahay nila at kung ano yung naramdaman nila. It depends sa researcher. Para meron kang data, okay? Para meron kang something na magsusupport if in case na may effect or walang effect ang intervention program mo. That's why it is really important for you to be able excuse me, for you to be able to have a descriptive supported na data aside from doon sa kinandak mo na na treatment after ng process of intervention. Okay? If you still have a question, you may ask me during synchronous. And this is the bonus na lang ng experimental psychology. Okay? Kung paano paggawa ng module. Alright? So, this is the end of lesson. I'm not going to meet you anymore. We need to see each other on finals and midterm because you have to work on your own na. And if you need also to validate that module na pinagawa nyo, pwedeng ipakita sa akin kung paano nyo ginawa yan. Then, let me check the phase validity, the criterion validity, the content validity of that specific module. Okay? So, para hindi tayo magkaroon ng discrepancy, dapat, ang module na pinagawa natin, okay, the instrumentation, research instrument na ginawa natin is the same na kung saan susukat natin ang dependent variable. Hindi pwedeng hindi kasi hindi tayo makakapag-come up ng okay na data or inaccurate yung data na makukuha natin. Also, all 8 module na sinasabi, kung mapapansin, is isa lang ang pinagkukuhanan yan ng references. Okay? Stress management technique. Alright? Okay. So, if you still have questions, as what I'm saying earlier, you may still ask me during synchronous. And thank you for listening again.